Hey guys, I'm going to get started here right now. Thanks for joining us, and it's just me sitting here. Thanks for joining me for this live London Open trading session for May 22nd. I'm not going to take very long tonight. I'm going to run through a couple quick pairs, and I'm probably going to call it a session here in about 20-25 minutes, just because I'm sure, well, if you haven't yet, please navigate to my market forecast video that I put out on Sunday, and you'll see basically all the levels I was talking about, and they're starting to come to fruition here now. So down to the dollar index here quickly on the daily, still looking for 94 big figure to get hit. That's probably going to happen today, I would imagine. Where it goes from there, I don't know, but I think this is going to get hit right away, and they could pop it up and then drop it back down once they've satisfied picking up all of the stops up in this area here. So I think we'll probably see that happen today. Going to drive down to an hourly. You can see here price reacted beautifully so far right off of this small consolidation area, as it should. So I think if you see these lows right in here, I'll just draw a level right here. These lows right there, if price doesn't show any willingness to so what we could see happen, I'll zoom in here a little bit. What we could see happen, price could come up into here. It may be doing it right now. Kind of come back down, do a little bit of a retest off of these lows back down here, and then I'd be looking for this thing to go long. So what I'll be looking for is just a slight retracement, and then again, this 94 level getting hit here today. So that's sort of what is on the menu for London Open here for Tuesday. Now, I don't know, I didn't mean to delete that line. If, you know, like I say, these levels in here, these sort of the middle of this consolidation range right in here, price came back, tagged into, and rejected off nicely. So again, looking for, I don't think we'll see this come down too much lower. This candle right here, if price comes in and it starts rejecting, and if we go lower than this candle right here, then I would change my anticipation of it running the highs here on Tuesday. It may do it later in the week, and it could put a low in. And I actually was calling a level, this level down here. See, you have some relatively equal lows down here. If this level gets lost and they shoot under here, price will probably want to come and run under the 93 level, or at least tag up on the 93 level one more time. I don't think we're going to see that. We're already starting to see some nice bullish movement off of this here, so I think we'll probably end up seeing this continue to drive higher. And like I say, this 94 level right up here is sort of the area that I'm looking at getting tagged here today. So with that being said, obviously the euro, we should see continuation to the downside. If you are a member of our F45 trading, you would have got this chart when price was coming. It was actually on this candle right here. I was said that we'll probably see price run up into this area. You see these two equal highs right here. You see how I have this box on there. I ran that box, I put it up there when price was down here, and it came up and hit those levels perfectly, and a nice rejections happened from so far. So what I'm looking to see here, same type of idea on the US dollar, but in reverse, obviously, because we're on the euro. I'd like to see price just basically come right up to about here, which is just the lows in here. It may want to come up a little bit higher, so, you know, if it starts running up into here, right, don't be worried about it. But I'd be looking for shorts at this level. So what level is that at? So about 117.80, you know, 117.85, somewhere in and around there. It may not even get up this high, so that's why I say any retracement in here, I'd be looking at going short on. And what would negate this? There are some relatively equal highs up here. If price makes a break and it goes above the high of this candle here, then I'd be concerned that these highs were going to get run. So just keep that in mind. There are definitely some areas back up in here where they may want to run price, but I think they've pretty much showed their willingness to not want to go higher than that here, and I think we'll probably end up seeing lower prices on the euro, and ultimately this 1700 level I think is going to get ran. They came damn close to it here on Monday's trading. Monday came in, the low was, if I can get the price chart to pop up for you guys, let me zoom in one time here. Come on. No, it's not coming up. It's lower in my menu bar here, but the low on my feed comes in at 117.15. Actually, what about 117.16? Rounded up. So definitely, I think we could go lower on that one and sweep this 11700 level very convincingly. And again, I think more so, you see these highs in here. I think that could be the target, and that comes in at 116.85, call it. So a price could come down about 100 pips from current level if we get a rejection off of here. They may not reject, they could just start rolling over from here. So we're going to watch that. If you do end up getting short, like I say, I would probably have my stop put in somewhere right about 117.90. I don't think you'd want to go any higher, let price go any higher than that. Maybe 117.95 just to kind of give it a little bit of extra cushion, which is only about a 15 pip stop, so not too bad. But again, just keep in mind, if you see price starting to roll up through here and you see a little bit of strength and it keeps on pushing, maybe just hold off a little bit and see if it wants to run these highs one time, and then I'd be looking for a rejection to happen. In order for that to take place, though, you're going to need to see the similar thing in the US dollar. Price would have to come back down. It'd have to basically run the low here and come slam back down into this area one more time in order to do that. But again, I don't necessarily think we're going to see that happening today, but we'll watch for that. Sorry guys, just had to do a couple of invite links here. You can probably hear my air conditioning fire up. It sounds like a bloody jet engine. It is hot, hot, hot where I'm at, which is great for me. It's unseasonal. It usually doesn't get this warm this time of year. Last year it did. We had a great year last year. Very, very short winter and very, very long summer last year. And so far this year isn't disappointing. It was very, very hot for the past few days, and it's supposed to be a scorcher all week long into next weekend. So usually we get snow this weekend, and it's May long weekend where I'm at, so it's a big holiday Monday, and usually 9 times out of 10 we get snow, so it kind of kills the holiday vibe and the plans to go out and party and do all that stuff. But yeah, it's a scorcher. So it's great to finally see that happen. Hopefully the cold weather's over and it's nothing but summer from here on out. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to send out a couple of invite links here. So back to the task at hand. Like I say, want to see this push down just a little bit, see if we can't get an entry. And again, I don't want to see it go any lower than here. If it does start pushing lower, then if it really, this candle right here, if it pushed lower than this candle here, hold off on anything, any idea going short on the euro or anything like that. Now the trade that I'm looking at actually is the pound dollar. There's a lot of movement lower. So you saw the, don't need this on here anymore. I'm just gonna clean, hang on here guys, I'm just gonna clean my chart up here a little bit. It's a little bit of shrapnel on there. Okay, so it's going to start with a fresh chart here. So ultimately I believe we're going to push down here. See these equal lows in here, a lot of liquidity down there. They ran price up down here, came back, consolidated, and pushed up and made these new highs up in here. And what they didn't do is they didn't come back down. You see this here and this down in here and these runs on liquidity. They didn't do that under here at all. They left that wide open. So anybody going long, they've gone in and they've gone ahead and tucked their their long positions and their stops right up under here. So this is going to be the next level, and that comes in at basically 133. I'll just make this an even number, 13300. So you can see that. And I've been talking about this level for a while. Price currently is at 134.15 on this feed, and I think we're going to probably run this here fairly soon. There's a bunch of news coming out for the pound dollar at, I'll just double check the time in 1 second here so I can pull up Forex Factory. As you can see here, the pound sterling news starts dropping at 4 a.m. New York time. So right now it's just a little after 1. So about 3 hours we're going to start getting some major price fluctuation. I shouldn't say major. We're going to get some pretty good price fluctuations on it. So what I'm going to look at here is see price trading in this consolidation last week. I was looking for a breakout last week. It didn't do it. Finally gave it to us on Monday here, yesterday's trading, and now so far we're trading down, continuing down. Now it price just broke just lower than this low here, convincingly finally, and again I think the next break we're going to see 13300 come to fruition at the end of this week here, and probably it'll be a run a little bit lower as well. So let's see if we can't look for an entry. Now I like this level here. You see how price has come up and created these relatively equal highs in here. Relatively equal. They definitely didn't come in and like what they didn't do is come in. You see how they came in and traded here and basically, you know, left all the liquidity and then slammed it up here and basically took all the buy stops out and then ran it back down. They haven't done any buy stop raid yet, so that's what we could see. So there's a level up here at 134.56. I would even call it even at 134. 50, I would say, would be a nice number that I would love to see if they would come up and run and tag off of 134.50. So right in about there, that would clear these stops nicely. Typically, you get a stop run of about anywhere from 10 to 20 pips, and here is 10 pips right about there. So you can see from the highs here, that takes us just about, and actually I could even go right off the high of that candle right there, move that up, and look at that. It almost takes us right to that 134.50 level. So I think that's what we're going to see happen. Now, here's the problem. You get price that starts to do this kind of stuff, and a lot of times you won't get this. It'll just start running, and it'll impossible to catch up to it. So I think what I'm going to do for my members at f45trading.com, I will put out a couple of signals for this, and I'll do one aggressive entry and one conservative entry, and then hopefully we can ride out the rest of the range for this week, which is 13300. So that's what I'm looking at now. If price comes in, and let me just make a note on this chart here. So you see these equal highs back in here, and basically this just kind of comes back in this consolidation range. If this candle here at 135.15, if that starts getting ran, then I'm going to think that they're going to want to maybe come back up into here and maybe into this area here. You can see these two equal lows right here. They may want to come back up for those if that gets hit. I don't think they're going to do that. They're already well under this consolidation area now, and I think they're probably just going to keep on dropping it lower, but I'd like to see an entry. I'd like to see them. I wanted to see if they would do it here. So this was the this is basically the Asian range in here, where price closed the end of the day down here, and typically it's just a quiet time where price really consolidates nice and tight. And they just ran it up a couple of pips here. I was hoping to get the run above this high here and here. Didn't do it, and it started to trade off. So that's kind of what it is leading me to believe that the news, they could run it up pre-news, spike it up into there, grab that liquidity, and then dump it. So that's sort of what I'm looking for to come in. But again, they may not do that. They may just start running it south from here, and in which case, that's why I say I'm going to put out a couple of signals for my membership group to take advantage of that if that does actually happen. So, I'm looking for a trade in the cable today. Pound dollar will probably be tomorrow. Again, this is starting to roll over nicely, though. You know, this was Monday's open here, and it's actually Monday's open started right there. And so I'm going to be interested to see what's going to happen at 117.67, basically, which is the open. See if they want to bounce, drive it down, and bounce it up into here one more time. You could look at getting short there, or wait and see what they do up here. Now, like I say again, there's news coming out for the euro coming tomorrow, so I think there's going to be a lot of new fluctuation in the euro tomorrow, which is why I'm looking for a cable trade today. There are a few cable news events happening tomorrow, but I think today is the day that they're going to move it fairly nicely. So we're going to watch for that. That's about all I can say really for that. Crude oil hit another high today. As you can see, they just keep smashing this thing up here. Really wish they'd do a little bit of a retracement. This was that Trump move that I was talking about in that pre-recorded video I did on Sunday. You can see how prices just catapulting higher ever since. So basically, if there's any down candle that comes in here, I'll be buying off of that just because, I mean, why fight the trend? I mean, look at this thing. Look at this, right? I mean, this is a huge bull trend. The price came all the way from 40 bucks up to 72 since June of last year. So in 1 year's time, we've almost doubled the price of oil, which is amazing. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for, is price just to give me some sort of a retracement, some sort of an entry, some sort of something, and we can hopefully get long, but we'll have to see what happens there. Not much else to talk about crude. I don't want to buy it up here. Nothing on copper that I'm looking at. Nothing on cocoa that I'm looking at. Coffee had a nice little spike in here, as you can see. But seasonally speaking, coffee isn't the best time yet. This could be coming to fruition here pretty soon, so I'm going to keep my eye on coffee. Cotton's been screaming. I don't know if you're a cotton trader, but this has been screaming up nicely. Nothing today I'm going to talk about there. And look at this. Man, I was talking about this orange juice trade. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a long off. Wasn't in front of the charts when it happened. And just beautiful and just explosive price movement. Don't buy this now because this move has been completed. So I don't think we're going to see a whole lot more from there. Which brings me down to sugar. I think sugar, you see this explosive movement in here. This is what I was looking for, and I put a couple of buy orders in, and I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff in here, and for our membership group. So I put a signal out last week, and we got an entry on that. I'm going to put out another signal this week on it for any latecomers, and hopefully we're going to get another entry on that as well too. And I'm looking for these highs up here at 0.1500, basically these two equal highs up here to get ran. And I think it's going to take, it'll take a while. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It'll probably take, you know, a couple of months for it to get up there. So if you are a commodity trader and you have not traded the sugar market, or you are a regular sugar trader, hopefully you would have seen this move already. And this is just old news to you. But again, I'm not looking to buy it here. I want to watch tomorrow open. I want to see it come down a little bit, and then I'll be looking at getting long on that. And somewhere kind of anywhere from here to here is kind of somewhere in that neighborhood is where I'd be looking at getting an entry on that, from 1180 down to 1170. Somewhere in that neighborhood would be where I'd be looking at taking it a long entry if we can get it. So that's kind of what I like on sugar. Just great, beautiful, explosive action off there. That's what you want to see. When you get into these trades, the price moves away in a big hurry and it doesn't look back. And unfortunately, if you don't get in down here, sometimes price doesn't always give you an opportunity to get in. So you got to definitely be a little bit aggressive sometimes in some of these trades. But don't buy it up here yet. Wait for price. It'll come back down. It should retrade back down, and then we'll get into a nice logical area. The other area actually is these highs right here. We could see a retrade back down to here. So just keep that in mind as well too. So 1190, 1180, 1170, anywhere in and around there, we should be able to get a long entry off. So I am very bullish sugar. As you can see, I think price is going to run up here. called the orange juice market. You can go back to my earlier recordings back in, actually, I think I was talking about it in January and February after it did this. Price came back down. I was looking for this move back down in here, and again, I missed it, unfortunately, and gave me another opportunity to get in, and I missed it again. But I definitely called that one. I mean, and this level has been on my chart since January. I think I did the original analysis, and you can see that it came up and hit those highs beautifully. So Bitcoin, real quick on Bitcoin, I did some analysis on this on my weekly review. I think the highs, this is about the highs it's going to get. Price gapped up on Monday. So far it's coming back down to close that gap. Any push higher on this, I think it may only be pushing up maybe to the 9,000 level, just to kind of clear these highs in here, and then it'll probably roll over again. I've been calling Bitcoin lower for a while. I think these levels down here are going to get ran, and then ultimately this low down here will probably be the target, sub 6,000 basically. So just keep that in mind. I guess we could even look for an entry. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want to sell it down here yet. I'd want to see, just because of this big gap where they come in and they push price up, you know, real quickly off the open on Monday. That typically, there could be some bulls in control of the market currently, and they may want to see this run a little bit higher. Let me just look at some levels in here. I kind of like these highs here. See these highs right here, and then there's a bit of a gap right in this area. That would be great if they wanted to just rebound price up there one more time and then roll over. That would be perfect. I'd look for a sell in that area. But price is actually fairly decently traded in this area. I don't see a whole lot of areas that price is going to run back up to. So anyway, long story short, if this gap gets closed and they don't start retracing in a big hurry and they don't see a bounce, so usually what happens is they gap it. Bulls are in control of the market. They gap it up, and then they slowly retrade down. They're buying. They close the gap, and then they start screaming higher. If you don't see that happening, that's a telltale sign that they are going lower. And initial targets, I would definitely say right down here at 7,000. That would be kind of the first target that I'd be looking at. So price to come, so back down in this area. If they do sell and they do keep closing lower, just keep that in mind. So, but I want to see what happens. It's coming in here pretty quickly. Did it close the gap already? Yeah, I did close the gap. It basically, well, I don't even really like that. I kind of like this more so. They could drive it down one more time. But they're not, and usually, so, and this is the other thing too. So usually, let's just say they fill this gap right at this high right here. Usually what happens when the gap close, price typically explodes off of it fairly quickly. What have they done in here? They came down, they hit it, they kind of went a little bit higher, then they rolled back down, and they kind of went higher, and they rolled back down, and now they're just kind of sitting there consolidating. Not looking too bullish to me right now. But again, I've been wrong on Bitcoin a few times before, but you know, I think they've satisfied price higher. They basically just popped it up to run the stops above here, and I think they're going to sink it. So just be careful if you're holding Bitcoin and you're a long holder. They could keep dropping price. So I think the bears ultimately are in control of this market, and they're going to keep pushing it down. I mean, think about this. If you're, for example, like a central bank or something like that, I mean, or a big banking institution, it doesn't have to be a central bank, big banking institution, and you basically dismissed, you know, like a Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs or somebody like that. You see all these big guys, and they have seriously changed the weighting of their portfolios to reflect a massive representation of cryptocurrencies. And where do they want to buy? You know, they're not buying up here. They're not buying here. They're not buying here, right? All they want to do is, they've got a lot of interest and a lot of money behind them to push price down. Because, I mean, think about everybody who bought Bitcoin. Why the hell would they sell, right? Why the hell would they sell Bitcoin up here, right? I mean, you know, any retail trader, why would they keep selling? Why would they just not push it up to 50,000, right? Or in here, why would they keep selling it in here? So anyway, I think the banks are in control of this, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to keep dropping it. They're going to squeeze all the long holders until they finally sell, and ultimately, this chart only goes out to there. This chart only goes out to June, but price obviously goes down to 600 and everything like that. I don't know that we're going to get down to 600 or 1,000 or anything like that, but I definitely think the 6,000 level is going to get ran and tagged, and who knows how far we could go from there. So. And like I say, if I'm a bank and I got a lot of bucks and I'm a believer in crypto because it's the future, and you literally have banks starting to come out saying that they're creating their own cryptocurrency coin now. So that's where the future's going. It's not fiat money, paper money in your pocket. It's all online digital currency to be traded instantaneously around the globe. That's the wave of the future. We all know where it's heading, and they're going to start getting involved in it very, very heavily. And they're not buying at these prices, I'll tell you that right now. They're going to buy when it's dirt cheap, and then they're going to smash this thing to the moon. So anyways, that's that. Bitcoin, Nat Gas. Looking for a retrade back down to Nat Gas. I like it. Summer's coming up. It's going to be a warm summer. Globally, I was actually looking at doing some research, and they say now I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not an Al Gore conspirator, and I don't believe in global warming, and I don't believe that all the crap that guy spills out onto the market. I think that's all just a ploy, and I'm not even going to get into that right now. I think he's full of shit, to be perfectly honest with you. But what I do see trends, and the market has been getting warmer, and the world has been getting warmer and warmer. Going through a bit of a cycle, and I think this summer is going to be a fairly warm one as well. Last summer it was very warm, and I don't think this summer is going to be any different. Now, I think what we're going to see is we're going to see Nat Gas. I think we're going to see prices start to spike here pretty soon, and as you can see, we just came out of this consolidation area here. I'd like to see price drop just under this low right here, see if we can't get a bit of a retrade back off of these levels here, and then I like this long. So I'm going to be watching for that. Historically, seasonally, Nat Gas doesn't start popping until usually June, so we could be a few weeks away from that yet, but I will definitely be watching this one very, very closely going forward. So Ethereum, same type of idea as Bitcoin, and I discussed these two, Ethereum and Ripple, actually in my weekly forecast, so I'm not going to go through those again, but that's basically all I wanted to get on and discuss here today. I want to watch price in here. You can see so far we're starting to get a little bit of a rejection. If price comes back down and moves, I'm just going to zoom in here. I'm going to actually jump into a 15. Expand this chart out a little bit. Okay, so you can see how price is coming. Whoops. You see how price is coming off these lows right here. I want to see willingness to continue through that, and I don't want to see price come really any lower. I definitely don't want to see price come lower. If we come lower than here, I'd be looking for it to rebound potentially off of these candles in here. If we don't get that, just be careful, because we could be making a run under this guy here. But I want to see them basically just trade back down to about here, and then start to gain momentum and then push higher again. And I want to see them push higher than these highs. If we start pushing higher through here, it's just going to start climbing and climbing and climbing, and away we go. And now, again, same type of idea. I want to see the news push the pound dollar above here, so I'm going to be watching for that. And then euro, I want to see a retrade back up to 1780 and a pullback, and then a drop to ensue. So that's it, guys. I don't really have much else to discuss here. I hope this helped you in your trading, and we gave you some ideas. I think, though, ultimately, like I was saying before, long term, the rest of this week, 94 level is going to get tagged on the dollar. On the euro, I think 1700 is going to get 11700 is going to get tagged, and on the pound dollar, I believe 13300 is going to get tagged. So those are the levels I'm looking at. We've got Dave coming in on Wednesday morning, New York session. He'll be doing some trading with you guys, S&P and the gold market. I might even be back tomorrow for New York Open as well too, just to kind of discuss some of the levels, because there is some more news that's happening in the New York session. No, that's sorry. That is tomorrow. I was mistaken. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 23rd. I'll just bring this over here. So Wednesday, May 23rd. That's when there's a lot of action in New York. There's there's FOMC meetings. There's crude oil. So early morning pound dollar news, early morning euro news, and then even earlier. And this is why I think the euro is going to see some great movement tomorrow. But we'll watch for that. So anyway, that's a wrap for one day. I hope you guys have a great day of trading on Tuesday. If you're a member, I'll be putting out some signals here right away, so you can watch for that. And if not, you will see Dave come back on Wednesday, talk about the market again, looking for some trades, and then I'll be back again on Thursday. So we will catch up to you then. Thank you very much, and have yourself a great evening.